Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. And there are a ton of dog people out there. And well, when you see one of our next guests, you're just going to go,
oh, that's right, Mary Jo Dionne. Oh, and Cowboy. There's Cowboy as well.
Like, oh, is she ever adorable?
Mary Jo, writer for Modern Dog Magazine, hosts Dog Bytes on Shore 104, and also the founder of TheFleasKneesTees.
Okay, Mary Jo, first and foremost, you have to introduce us to your little friend.
Cowboy, this is the main, I hope my husband's not tuning in right now. This is the main man in my life.
This is it.
Hands down, paws down, Cowboy has my heart.
Now, where did you find Cowboy?
Oh my gosh, do we have like an hour? Because let's just talk about him, I love him. I found him through a friend on the streets of rural Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. He was actually a street dog hanging out with a pack of wild huskies.
That a boy, and probably in charge of the wild huskies as you go.
Yes, he's alpha.
Oh, that's so cute. And was there a bond right away? I mean, there often is, right? Like people find their dog, or was Cowboy a little standoffish?
It was actually me who was a bit standoffish. My previous dog had been 3 pounds, Cowboy's 6 pounds.
So
and
he's fat.
Well,
yeah.
when I
Sorry,
met him,
Cowboy.
yeah.
No offense.
When I met him, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for a big dog.
Oh
Twice
my
the
God.
size. That's a 100% increase.
This isn't a lap dog.
Yeah, seriously.
Cowboy, how old? Like.
I'm going to estimate he's 13. We've had him 11 years.
Oh, you're kidding.
And
Yeah.
he is blind, yes?
He would be, I would say, 100% visually
100%.
impaired.
Or he's tricking you. Very,
There's also
very
that.
He's just
Yeah,
really
there's
smart.
also that.
Very consistent.
Now, we've got a ton of stuff to talk
Yeah,
about. First of all,
absolutely.
let's talk about the t-shirts.
Yes.
Tell us about this one.
Okay, this is a side gig labor of love for me, and FYI, little trivia, that outline is Cowboy.
Of course it is.
The Fleas Knees was started as a way for me to have more funds to give back to animal rescue. And
Nice.
so they're available retail $42 on fleasplease.com, and then $5 from every one of these shirts in particular actually goes to National Geographic Channel's Dogtown. It's a series on National Geographic with Best Friends Animal Society. So
Very
they
cool.
get $5 from every shirt, and that goes towards their Puppies Aren't Products campaign, which is basically all about kiboshing the puppy mills
Now
industry.
tell us a little bit more about that, because a lot of people don't realize when they're purchasing a dog that's in a pet store that isn't sanctioned by the SPCA or what have you,
Yes.
probably comes from a place that's not that reputable. Maybe you can explain why puppy mills are such a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first challenge with the whole term puppy mills is it's a cute word. Like when I
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
heard about puppy mills, and puppy mills, it sounded like almost like I Love Lucy
Little
Bon
fuzzy
Bon
things
Factory.
tumbling out of the end of a
Totally,
production
yeah, a little
line.
Bon Factory conveyor belt, right, with I Love
Yeah.
Lucy stuffing her.
They're heart-wrenching when you see footage.
They
Oh.
really are, and you know what? I don't even know if words can do justice.
No, it's disgusting.
I don't want to make sweeping generalizations, but you're right. The vast majority of pet store puppies are sourced either via a broker or via a puppy mill directly.
And there are reputable breeders out there, but you
absolutely
really need to check your sources if you're going to go that route.
Absolutely, and I would recommend Canadian Kennel Club, ckc.ca, walk through the step on how to find a reputable breeder. You're totally right, because breeders have gotten the sort of shaft through this whole puppy mills awareness.
Yeah.
Is now everyone's like, breeder,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's reputable breeders on the up and up. Pet stores, for the most part,
Yeah. Well, and
I shy
Richmond's
away.
right here in the Lower Mainland taking a very brave stance when it comes to
Oh my gosh.
to puppies. They're the first one. They're not allowing any.
They are the first city in Canada to ban the sale of puppies at the retail level, and that's effective this April, 2011.
That's amazing.
They're
Brilliant.
making, you do a little bit of a Google on that, and that's not just news here in Canada. That is
around the
getting
world.
international recognition. So 3 cheers for the counselors at Richmond for fighting that one through.
And if
Very
you are
cool.
looking for a dog, there are so many dogs that need homes
Incredibly,
and to be
yes.
adopted.
Yes, there are actually an estimated 600 million homeless dogs. So I'm an arts major, but I did a little bit of math on my iMac, and if my calculator's
You're way ahead of me, lady.
If my calculator's right, every Canadian would have to adopt 18 dogs for us to solve the homeless situation.
That's so
So
Wow. So there's
petfinder.com.
Lots of ways
Go
for
there.
people to ethically find an animal that'll fit into their
Incredibly,
life
yes,
at the level.
especially this time of year where the ones that were under the tree with the big bow around their neck,
Yeah.
the novelty's wearing
Going back
off.
to the SPCA.
Wow.
Back to the shelters. So petfinder.com.
We have to talk about Modern Dog. You've been
Yes.
with them for quite a while. And
I
you have a
have-
really cool
yes.
opportunity. You get to interview some fascinating people about
I have to
their
say,
lives.
I have had a blessed experience with that magazine from the word go. Positive people behind it, and then I get to meet the most eccentric, some really high-profile, neat people who actually have a really good message at the end of the day. They're
Yeah.
not just high profile for the sake of being
Well,
high
and
profile.
the
They've got
first one
something
is
to say.
Ellen DeGeneres,
Oh
who
my
is
gosh.
not shy about
Yeah, no.
talking about her love
No.
of all animals, but especially puppies.
Exactly, and you
dogs.
know what? This was the thing I loved most about my experience interviewing Ellen was, yes, of course she's known as a funny person, but when I got to meet Ellen, the first thing that struck me is she's an intelligent person and well-spoken and vocal, and she's out there when the microphone is in front of Ellen DeGeneres, she's saying what matters to her, and a good deal of that is animal rescue and doing what's right by our little monkeys here.
And Cesar Millan, a very popular fella.
Yes, Cesar Millan, and you know, he is an interesting person because he's very controversial. Some people are for his methods, some people are against, but at the end of the day, what Cesar Millan has done, as far as I'm concerned, is he's made us talk about our relationship with dogs in a way that we weren't doing before. So I say 3 cheers to Cesar.
Well, and an interesting angle to come from as well, you know, to talk about someone who is a little bit controversial, but still pushing that knowledge forward and, that relationship forward
I
as
personally adore him, but I recognize the fact that he is a controversial figure.
He said a couple things to Victoria that people were a little upset about.
Cowboy, what do you think of Cesar? Exactly. Okay, Tori Spelling and Mimi, her pug. Is Mimi still around? Or
no, Mimi is no longer with us. She's gone on to a better place. But I have to say, too, with Tori Spelling is I totally dig her, and whatever we think when we think of Tori Spelling, whether it's Daddy's Little Girl or Donna Martin or a reality TV show host, at the end of the day, behind the scenes, that woman is an advocate. Like, she is out there pounding the pavement for animal rescue, and she's a woman who doesn't really have to. You know, like,
well, you can tell she really loves animals.
She totally does, and she does really neat things in Los Angeles with an organization called Much Love. In particular, she's designed a really beautiful diamond dog bone pennant, and all of the proceeds go to Much Love. And I mean, like I say, she doesn't have to.
Well,
so
and these
I
are
really
things that people
her.
don't hear about all the time.
This
as well.
is exactly it. Is the people who are out there who are taking the time, the spotlight's on them, and, you know, adding a little bit of a positive message when they're on the red carpet, I say 3 cheers.
Yeah.
And Twilight fans out there, well, she was in the first
she's wearing
movie.
a rather familiar shirt as well.
Where did she get that T-shirt?
It's beautiful.
Spectacular.
That's quite a compliment right there as well.
Rochelle Lefebvre, she's actually the spokesperson for Best Friends Puppies Aren't Products campaign. Of course, she's originally known for Twilight. She's premiering in a new series next Wednesday on ABC called Off the Map with the producers of Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
Yep.
I saw the promo last night when my wife was watching Grey's Anatomy.
Not you.
Of course not. And Modern Dog, we can see, has a beautiful cover girl in this issue.
Nikki Taylor, and I again, with Nikki Taylor, before I interviewed her, I was kind of hoping not to like her because she's so
gorgeous.
Yeah, and I was like hideous in that interview too. I'm like, and
show up in your sweats.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, it's yoga wear. But she's really, really nice, and I have this total girl crush on her now because she's as beautiful on the inside.
And
I think Cowboy likes her too.
Yeah,
Do you want
Cowboy's
to see
Nikki.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah,
dog
she's
as well.
also in the trenches in Tennessee in the rescue scene. So again,
That's so
not
nice.
a woman who has to. You know, she doesn't have to get her nails dirty, and she absolutely does.
Well, thanks so much for coming today, and thank you, Cowboy. I think he's looking for treats.
Yeah.
Or he loves me.
He wants independence.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
He's tired of
Do you
you.
know how old I am?
I don't need to hear that, lady.
So, of course, you can pick up Modern Dog magazine. Oh, well, Cowboy. Dear me.
Was occupied.
Don't cut to Cowboy right now.
Cowboy thinks he found a sausage.
And you can go to the TheFleasKnees to buy the T-shirts. And, of course, funds raised go to a fantastic cause. Sausages,
He
really?
thought he brought pepperoni.